Maybe you've been seeing the signs in your life too, that things that you always did that made you feel fulfilled and gave you pleasure and purpose, that it just doesn't feel the same anymore. That life's starting to just feel like work. Well, if so, it's time for a reset. I'm Betty, and I have this channel because I'm convinced that we can make the last decades of our lives the very best ones in so many different ways. In about 7 weeks, I'm going to turn 70 years old, and I think that's kind of a milestone. And I got to thinking about how a week has 7 days, and so I thought, well, that's kind of like I've lived a week of decades, and when you get to the 8th day, it starts a new week. So I'm thinking, this should be something new. This should be something fresh. But I got to noticing that in the last weeks or months, really, things weren't fresh. And life was just starting to feel like work. Things hadn't really changed that much, and it's not like things were really going badly. And yet, I was starting to lose the joy in things that used to feel like they gave me purpose. So I knew that I had to dig in and figure out what's going on and how can I make a change that's not just going to be temporary, but something that's going to set me back on the right path, a reset. And if you've been feeling this way too, then I just want to share with you some of the thoughts I had that got me going back in the right direction. Now, one of the things that I noticed was that I was listening to too many voices, too many opinions, and it's so easy to take other people's ideas and influence and put it on yourself, feel like I'm just not doing anything right. But I just noticed that it was like just too much noise going on about what I was doing and how I should do it, and am I doing it right, and I got to try to do things better, and it did end up just feeling like work. So when I really thought about it, I knew that I was going to have to go back to my core, my center, because it's really tempting in a situation like that just to try something new and get a new routine or change something up. I don't know, redecorate something, get some new clothes, and just kind of change your mood and make yourself feel better. But I knew that it was something deeper than that. I knew that it was something that I needed to find out who I really was in all of this and follow that. So your core is really, it's the center of your being. It's where you go when you need to make a decision. It's your criteria for how you decide to do things. And you can't always just go along with what everybody else decides for you. It might be great for them. It might be great for somebody else. But you've got to have things aligned with your core, your center. Some people might call it their North Star or whatever, but it's just that thing that doesn't change. Now, for me, that part of me, that center that doesn't change, is God. And I pray a lot. I depend a lot on prayer. And I knew that for myself, what I had to do was focus more on who I really am according to who I am in God, and spend more time just quiet, listening and hearing what is right for me. And these could be with big things or small things, but just being able to walk through life knowing that you are guided by something. A lot of people would just call it a gut feeling, which is not too far from the truth, really, because you do feel something down inside of you when you make the right decision. And people say, yeah, I followed my gut feelings and everything came out a lot better. Well, whatever you want to call that, you've got to look for that center and find purpose and go with that. Because if you don't, then all this noise around you, all these voices and ideas and advice and the right way, it's just going to confuse things and make you feel like you're just not doing anything the way you should. And you start trying harder, and you lose the joy. See, that was the thing. This is really from my heart. I was losing the joy in life, and I knew that if I didn't do something about that, it wasn't going to get any better. And I don't know what you think about as your purpose, your core, your center, that which guides you when you get quiet and when you reflect. But it has to be there, and you've got to follow that. You've got to kind of wade through things and see, how am I using my time? How am I using my effort and my energy? And speaking of time, if you go through and you see that something you're doing, it kind of seems like a waste of time, I'll tell you, it probably is a waste of time. Set it aside. Move on with things that really matter. And in whatever you do, put your creativity in it. This is such a key, just to bring joy back into your life. Put creativity in it. And I'm not just talking about being artistic. Whatever it is, even with your cooking or the way you dress or the way you interact with people around you. Put yourself into that. It's kind of like everything that we do should have our signature, our style, our fragrance on it, because that's us. That's what we have to give. And there's nobody that's just like you. And when you find yourself relaxing a little bit and being more creative in things, everything becomes more enjoyable. So I don't know what kind of a landmark age you might be coming up to, but you don't really have to wait. I just know that as I'm turning 70, this is the focus that I'm going to keep. That I'm not going to let these things affect me like they were. I'm not going to let these things steal the joy from my life. It's kind of like cleaning out your closet. You take out the things that don't fit you anymore, the things that you just really don't like that much. And when you do, you find out that what's left is exactly what you need. Do that with your life. Do that with me. And as you do, you're going to find that life is no longer such a struggle, and there's going to be a lot more joy in your life. So thanks for watching this video. And I've got another video up here that I think you're going to enjoy. So I'll look forward to seeing you there.